our community witnessed a horrific event on our streets. Some saw it in person, and many more have seen it circulating online. Whatever your opinion is about what happened, this was a traumatic event. Based on a previous experience with FBI processes, we are concerned that the evidence obtained in an investigation that has only been conducted at the federal level will not be shared with our office for review. In the past, the FBI has invited us to see a high-level overview of their investigation, but we were prohibited from seeing the entire investigation or talking about what we saw in that PowerPoint publicly. While I respect the FBI's process, our community's expectations are much different in terms of transparency. This community expects to understand what the evidence is and the justification for any decision that might be made. I want to start by speaking to the loved ones of Renee Nicole Good. I am so sorry for your loss. I hope that the memories you cherish offer some small comfort to you in the days that follow. Earlier this week, our community witnessed a horrific event on our streets. Some saw it in person, and many more have seen it circulating online. Whatever your opinion is about what happened, this was a traumatic event. Since this happened, I have been on the phone and in meetings with law enforcement, justice leaders, elected officials, discussing ways to ensure a thorough and transparent investigation, how that can occur, and be shared with our office. On Wednesday, our immediate focus was ensuring that an agreement could be reached for a joint investigation with the BCA and the FBI. To be clear, and I want to be very clear about this is not because we have concerns about the FBI investigation. Our efforts in advocating for a joint investigation is not an attack on the FBI. We have had a strong working relationship with the local FBI field office throughout my administration. Based on a previous experience with FBI processes, we are concerned that the evidence obtained in an investigation that has only been conducted at the federal level will not be shared with our office for review. In the past, the FBI has invited us to see a high-level overview of their investigation, but we were prohibited from seeing the entire investigation or talking about what we saw in that PowerPoint publicly. While I respect the FBI's process, our community's expectations are much different in terms of transparency. This community expects to understand what the evidence is and the justification for any decision that might be made. To that end, I cannot overstate the importance of a local investigation, or at least access to the federal investigation by the BCA. Without it, we will not have the ability to be transparent with our community about the results of the expectation, or, as I said, any decision that might come of the review. And let me be clear, we have no preconceived opinion on what the evidence will show. Making a charging or decline decision in an officer-involved case requires us to evaluate the evidence in the context of complicated legal issues. For that reason, we cannot reach a conclusion about any outcome here. Our goal must be to ensure that a thorough investigation is completed at the local level so that our community can have transparency. We do not yet know if there will be sufficient evidence without the FBI case file to even make a charging decision. The FBI currently has, for example, Ms. Good's car, the shell casing, and witness interviews. The FBI has taken the car, and so any forensic analysis that comes from that would not be available to us unless they were sharing that. To be clear, when a state investigation happens by the BCA or any local agency, they submit the case to our office for evaluation of potential charges. The BCA does not make recommendations about what we should be doing. They simply submit the entire case file to us, and our legal professionals take a look at it and decide what the appropriate action is. That is the normal process that we've had here since about 2020. Law enforcement investigates, our office reviews to determine if there is enough evidence to even make a decision. And if there is evidence to review, we have jurisdiction to make that decision. So let me be clear here. We do have jurisdiction to make this decision that happened in this case where her life was taken in Hennepin County. It does not matter that it was a federal law enforcement agent. To be sure, there are complex legal issues involved when a federal law enforcement officer is involved. But the law is clear. We do have jurisdiction to make this decision. We cannot make any decision, however, if there is not evidence submitted to our office. So we are moving forward in collaboration with the Attorney General's office and the BCA to preserve any evidence and ensure that it can be reviewed. To that end, we are asking those in our community who have information or who have video or photos of the event to submit that information to our office. We are providing a secure link where people can submit this evidence. The link can be accessed using the QR code, which is displayed on the screen beside me. The link will also be posted on our website, hennepinattorney.org. Along with the evidence itself, we are asking people to provide contact information so investigators can follow up. Because it is important to collect and preserve evidence properly, we ask people to provide accurate and complete information on the form on our website. I know our community wants fast answers. I know this city feels again as if it is at the center of a national fight as you are processing everything that is happening here. And I wish I could promise a swift decision and the resolution that you want, but I cannot promise you that right now. Here is what I can promise you. Our offices will work together and have been working together on this and will continue to do so. We will continue to work around the clock to preserve, gather, and review as much evidence as we possibly can. We will be transparent with you to the degree that we can. We know that there will continue to be many questions. This is an active investigation, and I do not want to jeopardize any future decisions or processes, so there are likely to be many questions that we cannot answer right now. We know what our job is. It's not to play politics, but to ensure a thorough investigation, seek justice, and to be fair to all involved.
Ms. Moriarty,
yes.
Two questions actually.
Sure.
Just to clarify, so the BCA, because of the initial agreement with the FBI, do they have the totality of whatever forensic crime scene evidence that was gathered? Is that already in the custody of the state?
So the question was about, because of the original joint agreement, does the BCA have access to forensic evidence? So the process here, the way the process unfolded is that the federal government came and was processing the scene. So the agreement had to be worked out with the BCA. When the BCA came to the scene, the evidence had been taken by the FBI. They collected the car and took it wherever. The BCA does not have access to the car. And the problem isn't that the FBI took the car, it's that the BCA doesn't have access to the car or right now even access to the forensic evaluation that happens as a result of the investigation with that car. So that's the concern here. That is what Drew Evans was saying, that in a normal investigation, the BCA would take the car, do their own forensic analysis, fingerprints, DNA, that kind of stuff, all of that kind of stuff. But they have not done that in this case, which would have been fine and would still be fine if the BCA could have access to the results.
But so the fruits of the labor currently BCA does not have.
That's correct.
So I guess the part two of my question, and I'm sorry, is and I know how I can only imagine how extraordinarily frustrating this is for your office and your prosecutors. You're doing this to get whatever kind of video evidence or whatever people can add to the investigation, but if you don't end up getting the forensic evidence from the FBI or from whoever, what can you do as a prosecutor?
I think it's premature to make that decision. We don't know what we're going to get. I'll note that there was a video posted last night that most of us hadn't seen before. That the caption on social media was that neighbors had released it. And so we think that there may be other evidence out there, video, that kind of thing. We don't know. And so, as the Attorney General and I know, it is critical to preserve evidence because it could be recorded over. Something could happen to it. And so this is an attempt to make sure that we preserve the evidence that's out there. And so we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to look at what's there. But it's really too early right now to say what we can and cannot do.